so I guess I'm just giving y'all a review on Steel Ball Run, I guess. Um, okay, let me just. Alright, obviously you can read Steel Ball Run at www.steelballrun.org. All of it's on here, all colored, all translated to English if you want it. I read most of it here. I really don't know what to say because this was genuinely one of the best, actually, the best piece of fiction I've ever read. I don't think it can get better than this, really. Some parts it was slow, but other than that, I'm speechless. A an entitled horse racer gets paralyzed from the waist down, and he goes on his journey across the country to goes on a journey across the country to once again on horseback, and then he gains the ability to walk again. It's a very emotional story, if I don't say myself. Spoiler warning, I'm about to pull something up. I'm about to pull up a chapter that will spoil you, so if you don't want any spoilers, please click off the video now. Okay. So, chapter 85, Ballbreaker, part 3. Gyro, like, he just dies. And it's one of the most emotional things I've ever witnessed in a book or anything in my life. He develops a stand just for him to die, like 2 seconds later. And I guess it just makes me sad because Gyro's been here from the start, and he's the reason Johnny's still here and alive. And seeing him die is like, it's honestly worse than Caesar's death, but I can't really pinpoint why. I think you just get that emotional connection with Gyro, and just Johnny's reaction, flashbacks. He remembered Gyro for who he was as a person and not his backstory. And he loved him because he was Gyro. And to see your best friend get murdered in front of you, this is one of the saddest things I've ever witnessed. And I can't put into words. I can't put it into words. And next, what I really want to talk about is the reveal of Tusk Act 4. And just I love how Johnny harnesses the power of the steel balls, and then I just can't. I Without the golden rotation and everything Gyro had taught Johnny, he would have never made it this far, and he would never have unlocked Tusk Act 4. This is, and for your friend to die in front of you, it's pretty, pretty, of course you're gonna want revenge, but like, without Gyro, without Spin, without going to the steel ball run, Johnny would have never developed as a human, ever as a human being, and he would have never proved his dad wrong. And I think this is just one of those things that's like, you can't really explain it, but you understand it. Which brings me to the outro of Steel Ball Run. I read this during school, and I was honestly getting emotional. Lucy kills Dio, obviously, and then they go and they bury and they put the saint's corpse in the vault. Johnny gets his own power turned against him, and of course he doesn't turn into him, and it's been for too long. But he begins to walk again, crosses the line, he finishes the race, but he's disqualified. But all that really matters is that he made it across the country, and honestly, it doesn't even matter if he won or lost. He was determined, and if Jaiba was still there, I honestly think that they would have won. Wait, no. If Gyro hadn't died, Johnny would have never unlocked Tusk Act 4. Because it was more of a mental thing. Once he saw Gyro die, he was like, he wanted to avenge him. And without that feeling of wanting revenge, he would have never unlocked Tusk Act 4 and beat Funny Valentine, obviously. But to take your friend's body onto a ship and try and, like, deliver it back to his own family, to Gyro's family, for, oh my lord. This was such an emotional ending, because Johnny develops as a human being. He learns to walk again. He learns to be that imperfect little human being that he is, and be himself. And that's what I think Rocky did really well. I think he did an amazing job that, conveying that, like, friendship is everything in the end. But the good things don't last forever. I think he did a great job writing Steel Ball Run and giving it an amazing ending. It's just an amazing ending for Johnny to reflect and become his better human being. And just, oh my lord, it was just amazing. This was genuinely amazing. Um, there's something Rocky does, and he does things amazingly well. I don't know how to explain it really, but he always has that, like, Rocky always has that sense of, like, he wants you to know that there's a theme, and it's not just for the plot. There's always a theme to his stories, and Steel Ball Run is not an exception. It shows that, like, teamwork is really, is, teamwork isn't, it is way better than winning. Being with someone is better than winning. The steel ball run, it was a minor goal compared to Gyro and Johnny's friendship that they had. And I think that Araki did a really good job demonstrating that Johnny and Gyro had such a deep connection with each other that they do anything, that they do literally anything for each other. And I find that really bittersweet that Steel Ball Run had a neutral ending. It wasn't, oh, Johnny died this, Johnny died that, Gyro died this. It was more of a happy ending, but a sad ending. So it was just neutral. You'd feel happy and you'd feel sad, but that was the point of the ending. It was, I think, that this ending, this art style, the plot, this was Araki's best part ever. And to see him bounce back from all the success in the OG universe, I've never seen anything better. And and quite frankly, you can see you can see the extreme differences by chapter of Johnny and Gyro's friendship. You can see how they develop, how their characters develop, and I think he did an amazing job developing their characters to be more than they originally were, to be more emotionally connected as they originally were when they were first introduced. They became totally different people, really. And I think Gyro understood what it was to have a friend, and he understood how he's not always going to be there for Johnny, but he needs to make Johnny think that when he's gone, it's not over. And that's exactly what he did. Once his time was up, Johnny knew that everything, it's not the end because Gyro died. It's because, it's not the end because you were taught by him, and everyone has to come to an end eventually, and Gyro knew that. I know he knew that. That's why. That's why I think he was teaching Johnny Spin, and he did a really good job teaching Johnny, being a mentor, and to want to win the race, to stop being an execution, to save Marco, to save some kid you barely know from execution. It just shows how good of a person Gyro can be sometimes. And it really shows in his character. And one last thing I'd like to talk about, just the race. It does kind of become irrelevant at some point, but Rocky found a way to bring it back every time, if you get what I'm saying. He found out a way to kind of bring back the race every once in a while so it wouldn't feel like it wasn't a race, if you don't get what I'm saying. It's like, oh, we haven't talked about the race in a while. How about we go ahead and get back on track? Every couple chapters there would be a fight, but then he'd get back right onto the race. Although it did become irrelevant between chapter 70 to 95. And for Johnny to cross the finish line in the end. But without Gyro, I think it just shows that just because that one person you loved with all your heart unconditionally is gone doesn't mean that your life has no meaning. Johnny crossed that finish line for Gyro because he knew that's what Gyro wanted. And that's why I'm going to have to give Steel Ball Run a 10 out of 10. Because it's genuinely the best book slash manga I've ever read, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. As of right now, yes, the Steel Ball Run anime has came out, but we're still waiting for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed watching my little rant review on the Steel Ball Run manga now that I've finished it. And let me know in the comments if I missed anything, if you want me to know anything, if I should read anything, just let me know down below. If, you know, I can read any more mangas, I can give more reviews. Just let me know what kind of content you want to see in the future. Anyways, chased out.